Hi, my name is Dana Citron. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Orbital Fire Cybersecurity, and I want to welcome you to the Women Leaders in Manufacturing podcast. We're sponsored by LIMET, the Long Island Manufacturing Extension Partnership, with the Executive Director of Amy Erickson, who you're seeing in one of the other series of this podcast. We are here today at beautiful Stony Brook University within the Offices of Research and Innovation. And I'm so excited to introduce you to our guest today, Amy Downs. She's the Director of Operations for OEM Logistics. Amy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're very excited for this conversation. And Amy, before we get started, I was hoping you can tell us a little bit about OEM Logistics. And I know this is a fairly new business, just in general, and for you.
Yes. The company is relatively new. The concept is not. Okay. So I am working with the CEO and founder of OEM, was also the CEO and founder of another global supply chain management company that he had started 20 some odd years ago, I believe. Oh my God, that long. And I worked for them as well. And then they, the upper management, they sold off and retired, and things change. And he retired, and then actually primes in the world, in the country, were knocking on the door saying, we need you. We need you back. We need what you do, what your brand is, because the other didn't quite fit the same mold. So he's launched OEM Logistics, and I got the call to go home. And I went quick. A lot of us did. So a lot of the base group that we have now are building the infrastructure based on lessons learned and best practices from what we used to do. And it's very exciting.
It's so exciting. And not everybody gets the opportunity to it's almost like a reboot.
It is a reboot.
Sounds like,
yeah,
right?
They call it 2.0. Yeah, we do. We do. So what we do really, it's global supply chain, aerospace, defense, mission systems, space. But really what I do is I babysit men that play with billion-dollar toys.
I love that. Yeah, I think it's great. Well, you seem very excited about this new opportunity. It's you just see it in everything that you do.
Yeah,
I think that's great. Now, you've got 30 years in aerospace and shipbuilding. Not that drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Right? What's been the most transformational change you've witnessed?
I would say integration of the digital technologies. Mm-hmm. When I started, I used green bar paper. Does anybody even know what that is?
Of course, yeah.
Spreadsheets, like even Excel was new.
Yeah.
So with the evolution of paper going to digital, and digital twins is a new thing coming out where you can mimic an environment to do testing on these types of products. Digital platforms like Teams and the meetings where I can real time, I can be connected to my team anywhere in the world, 24 hours. So it is a lot of that. The AI, robotics that are coming in, all of that just drives optimization and automating manufacturing. And I'm not afraid about that replacing people, because we need people to learn the programming and keep the maintenance going. Sure. It's people are never going away. Well, unless Isaac writes another book.
There's too much babysitting involved. There might be a little bit of...
Exactly. So, but definitely the technology, digital technology, all of that has been mind-blowing to watch over the decades.
I think that's great. Now, you're known for continuous improvement and zero defect systems. How do you bring those values, kind of to life in your day-to-day and in this new organization when you're starting, really from the foundation up?
Sure. Heavy impact. For me, continuous improvement, zero defect is a little more manufacturing specific, but continuous improvement and thinking that way, it's not a workplace strategy. It's not only a workplace strategy for me. After years of pushing it, 5S and Six Sigma and all those keywords, it's really just about being organized in the most optimal fashion. So working with these principles, they've really become second nature to me. And once I'm able to convey the value added to my team and they embrace it, it's easy for me to continue bringing those principles into play. Even in my daily routine, my kitchen is 5S. There's nothing more than 2 steps away in any direction when I'm in there cooking. So that's 5S. That's the concept of 5S. Like instead of a spaghetti stream where I have to run around the corner and go in another room to get a spatula, it doesn't work. So I do live it. I live it and I preach it and I teach it.
That's great. Well, that's the best way to, right? When it's at your core, it's just, it oozes into everything that you do.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, what's your approach to making that operational approach sustainable across the organization? I know it, as we say, it's in your core, but how do you get that instilled in everybody right there?
This is a huge question and a challenge and is a constant topic in our executive team meetings because we do expect some pretty huge growth. I have about 30 people right now and might hit 300 next year and just continue to go from there. So maintaining the culture and the operational excellence is the biggest challenge. It's making a widget, and I'm not belittling manufacturing, but making a widget, if you know your subject matter, it's about building the relationships and selling the philosophy, not just implementing tools. You know, we want to create the culture where the continuous improvement is owned by everyone, not just the individual. So team buy-in, you know, shared visions, explaining the why. Why are we doing it this way? You know, if they can understand the level that we're going to hold them and ourselves and our customers and our suppliers, communication, empowerment, we manage in a method that allows our team to almost be in business for themselves. So the better that they do, obviously, we don't leave anyone out there drowning.
Sure.
Their success is my success. However, if you empower people through that continuous discussion and hashing, embedding the excellence into the daily work, then you become an untouchable force. And I am expecting that from my team, and I will give that to my team.
It really does start from the top down, right? And just in terms of living it yourself.
Yes.
Well, what's the hardest lesson that you learned, you know, as an options leader? What's really a male-dominated field? I know that you mentioned that at the top of this.
Well, this industry can definitely feel like a boys' club. So earning respect, especially from my perspective, earning respect can take some time and persistence. I'm relentless and I'm never let up. Clear sense of self, and I think most importantly, what I've learned is how to navigate this environment without compromising who I am. Staying true to myself really early. I saw women breaking into this industry that adopted a combative and competitive ideology, and it was, you know, it was always like, you know, trying to prove yourself. If you're an expert in your subject matter, you don't have to fight to prove yourself. So the technology and knowing your subject and having the facts or doing the research, not being afraid to ask for help, you know, the way that I walk into a supplier, I'm there to help. I'm there to identify. I'm not there to tell them how to do their business. They might be in business for 80 years. I don't know all the ins and outs of that. I know 5S and continuous improvement. I can help them identify what their challenges might be, and then I can help implement plans that'll clear the path. So it's really about knowing, earning the respect and not coming from a place of hubris, like I'm not going to tell them what to do. It's a lesson I carry with me, is that I really have to stay continuous growth of my own, humility on my own. And I think that definitely conveys itself, and you do earn respect. You just can't flip. You can't run around either.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great. And this is really kind of related to that. Do you think that's also the way you build trust across not only your teams, but your suppliers, your customers, everywhere in your ecosystem?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I build trust by positioning myself there as an ally and a facilitator. Someone who's equally invested in their success, which also supports our customers' success. Because we are a third party, we're a liaison, we're in the middle, we're there as a facilitator. I hold myself to the same high standards that I expect from everyone on my team. I also hold my suppliers just as stringently accountable as I do the customer, because we're there to clear the path, as I said. And we know that the issues go in both directions. That was one of the keys of Steve's concept here, is that, we're not just going in and stamping our foot. I know if I yell at the machine, it's not going to cut the metal any faster. Not that I tried, but I know it doesn't work. I've seen people try. It doesn't work. So, and I never met a supplier who didn't want to ship a part. You don't get a purchase order and go, ha, 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 you're never getting this. Yeah. It's a supply chain. It's a supply chain. That's right. You get a PO, you make a part, you get paid, your people are happy, no mutinies, all of those things. So,
everybody wants happy customers and to get paid.
And to get paid. That really is the bottom line.
Yeah, right.
So if I can help them if they're struggling, it's my job to help them identify what the obstacles are, implement and support their plan to improve that, and clear the path. I mean, if their manufacturer's watching me, you're going to understand that. Let's say you send in an ECR, engineering change request, and it goes in a black hole and you don't get an answer for 6 months. You're not making parts while you're waiting for that answer. So we go after the customer. Who do I need to talk to clear this so we can get the parts moving? So really it's all about that advocacy, problem solving, adding to the partnership, building long-term relationships. And again, that comes back to being my authentic self and not being a bully or asking something that I'm not aware of how it works, the machinations of things, because it's hard to coach someone when you don't know what they're doing.
I love that you said that to me. You say you'll never ask someone to do something that you don't know how to do yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Now, I don't mean chrome plating.
Sure.
But I understand the process, and I know how to walk the floor, build a relationship, and communicate on a critical part update or an open order report, all of these things. So going to the floor, traveling across the country, meeting all of these different suppliers. Everyone on my team is moving through that now.
Now, you clearly go at 100% in everything you do, right? If it wasn't noticeable on the camera. But
I don't know what you mean.
How do you say charged? And how do you recharge when you're, really, demanding of yourself and, that you're at this level and you're working in such a high stakes environment?
I love this question, and I had a lot of fun building it because I might even get the cleanse. One of the most important things for me in the why of what I do, I know what we do supports our troops and our economy globally. So that why is very important. But through the years, I have found my niche as a mentor and a manager and a director that I help my team become the best that they can be. And, knowing what they do in the trenches, because I'm right there with them, but also knowing when to push and when to pause, because I want my team to be able to recharge too. Sustainable performance starts with sustainable people. So when I'm training new people, I usually tell them, there are going to be days where your pedal is down, like grinding gears down and then there are going to be days pedaled up. And I'm not saying coast, but you can take a breath. You can take a breath in knowing that there's an ebb and flow to the criticality in what we do and the level of detail that we need to dig in on. For me, I have rather diverse personal interests. I'm an artist, I'm a writer, I'm a gardener, I'm a cook, I'm a musician, voracious reader. And these outlets aren't really just hobbies for me, they sustain me. And, you can go out and rip a weed out of the garden. It's very satisfying to get the whole roots.
It really is. I would agree to that.
Yeah. So these things feed me. The community and the connection. I'm fortunate to have a really broad, many circles of friends. I don't even know what a Venn diagram would look like of that. But and then leading by example. I tell my team, even in the beginning, you're going to be like riding that bike and we're holding on to the back and you're like, I don't know if I can do this. And then all of a sudden we let go and you're out there making it happen. But I don't lose touch with my people, understanding that we all have personal lives and we all need to recharge that battery.
Now, through all of that, what really has struck me is in all of these interviews, for these women that are at the highest levels of their game, it's really that passion for making sure their people are just, well taken care of.
Yes.
And are well fed, kind of holistically, has really been a theme. And it's really so impressive to see kind of throughout
Thank
this.
you. It means a lot. That's my work reward. And I want everyone else I work with to feel the same way.
So let me ask you, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, goodness. I like to make,
I'm throwing her up.
I like to make beautiful food.
Oh.
So if you want, I'll show you pictures later. But
yeah.
I do charcuterie boards, and people will argue that it's just antipasta. It's not. Okay.
It's an art.
So it is an art. So I love to make charcuterie boards, and I also like to make puff pastries with vegetables that look like flowers. I'll show you. I just made one.
So we now know what we're doing after this podcast.
But I love to cook. I'm not a baker. I'm definitely a cook. And, sometimes I never know what's going to happen. And then I put something together and it's like, oh my God, wait a minute. How did I make this?
That's great. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Especially for that sidebar. Well, let me ask for young women stepping into operations or production management, what skills are most critical for them to thrive? What advice would you give them?
Don't compete. Do everything you can authentically. It is one of the most valuable assets you can bring to the table. Know your subject matter. Be bulletproof in knowing your subject matter. Be bulletproof in your level of attention to the detail. Reread, double check, beyond the standards, bulletproof. Because it's not easy. Actually, it's not easy in any job or anyone, but if you take it into yourself to be an expert in your field and know your own subject matter that you can speak intelligently about, and also not be afraid of saying, oh, this is very interesting. I'm not familiar with this particular process. How does it work? And then you're engaging with people and learning from them and not having that hubris, the word of the week.
Yeah.
Running over people, because as a woman, you often face an extra layer of scrutiny. We know this. It's, I thought we were a little further ahead than we are, but we're not. So your expertise becomes your armor.
I love that. Now, if someone was to speak to you, go back to early in your career, what do you wish someone had told you?
I wish I would have known that, technical expertise, and I know I keep saying no, subject matter expert, matter. It's not the only thing. Very important to know that alone is not enough. Relationships, communication, emotional intelligence, just as critical, if not more so for a woman. But, success in knowing your craft, early lessons about collaboration and humility. I could tell you a funny story if you want.
We're always up for stories.
So I was at front office manager of a manufacturing company, and there was a gentleman. I'm going to be very diplomatic and kind.
I love that.
There was a gentleman that was running the machine shop, and he was very hot-tempered and had no qualms about throwing things and screaming. And he bursts out of the machine shop and starts yelling at me about some tool that the guy ordered wrong. And so he has the wrong tool. And I stood up, and I'm 4'11", and I crossed my arms. And I don't even know where I learned this, but I took a step forward while he's screaming. I didn't say anything. I wasn't reacting or acting or speaking. I just took a step forward, and he took a step back. He didn't even know. Took another step forward. Another step. He backed himself into a whole wall of file cabinets. And he stopped screaming, and he was totally red, and he ran back into the machine shop, and he never yelled at me again.
That's amazing. And that shows power, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I don't know where I learned that, but I've used this many times over many decades of just letting them
Good lesson.
get it out. Just get it
Yeah.
out. Okay. Are you done? Can we have a discussion? Yeah.
Wait, is it time?
Exactly. So that was a big lesson.
Amy, this is such a pleasure. And, I know that you and I have actually participated in another panel for ADAPT a couple of years ago
Sure,
now. I know
sure.
we're both members, and ADAPT is such an important
Yes.
organization for aerospace and defense manufacturers on Long Island. And I appreciate you seeing you at those. I know they really advocate for women.
Sure.
in
And
these
the
fields.
WLBA, we're trying
The
to
WLBA.
push that forward as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I know with Amy's done amazing work there, and with members like yourself, it's really grown.
Yes. Yeah. It's exciting.
It is exciting.
And this whole podcast is I was honored to be invited.
We're so happy to have you here. It's been such an honor for me. The women, like I said, it's one after the next of women just of your caliber that are just really defining manufacturing. It's just very impressive.
I'm glad to be here. Although I will be honest that I know what my true purpose is really only to open the cans for my cats. Everything else just affords me the way, that level of,
to buy the cans.
yeah. You know,
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And we're going to now go and look at some of those pictures for puff
my
pastries.
food.
That's
My
right.
beautiful food.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.